I'm lucky. I'm lucky to be surrounded by all of you.
Thank you. I'm also very blessed because it's like a golden opportunity. You know, I just gold platter every day. So I'm one up.
Good. Well, we're so happy you're here. Everybody, we're so happy you're here. Brian, I will take it over, or I will let you take it over. And you just let me know when you need me, okay?
Sounds great, Shay. It'll just be a second, then I'll have you do your thing. So
Awesome.
yeah, just jumping on that. Absolutely, it's so exciting. Just Paul, we're just very excited to have you. Let's all just learn from that. Let's learn from that and get excited for that. Paul, I noticed, same as the show, obviously, you're way over in Nigeria, bro. It's so exciting, so cool. So just like the show, there will be a sort of little lag there for you. So just wait an extra second or so. We'll do that on our end too. And if you're Paul's partner, be aware of that too, because we're dealing with international right now, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah. So just be aware, and we should all be aware that in all of our scenes, we talked about that in script class, in this format, that will happen. So you have to take the extra second, and in last night's class, we talked about this, use it to process. Use it to really soak in what the other person says before you jump back into whatever you were going to say from what they said. That will give more time for them and also give you more time as a character to process what's going on. So here's my plan for tonight. What we are going to be doing is we're just going to go into scenes. Last week we went over angles. So Paul, we talked about, and Ian, we talked about the different angles that we can bring into a scene. Okay, so there were the 4 different angles. We've got a close-up angle, which is pretty much what we're doing here with mine right now. There's a wide angle, which sort of just establishes the entire space that you're in. There's the low angle, which is coming up towards you. That angle is meant to show you as sort of a either villain or hero, just dramatic. It's a dramatic moment. So if you're in that sort of setting, you are in a drama zone, okay? And then if you're doing the upward angle, that's coming down on you, and that's often for softening, for you to look really soft or joyful or weak, sort of that typical just softness that you want to display to people usually. So those are the things that we went over last night, and that's what I'm hoping to see in people's scenes tonight. Here are what scenes are going to look like. We are going to do who, what, where into scenes, just like we did in our showcase. So we'll start off. Somebody will give the who, somebody will give the what, somebody will give the where, and then we'll go right into a scene from there. I'm going to stop and go in this first set, kind of teach you guys a couple little things, and if we have time, we'll go into a second set. I'd love to just get us some more stage time tonight to sort of work through some of this, some of these improv moments. So for anybody who doesn't know who, what, where is, really simply, every scene, in any improv scene, we need to know who we are to each other, what is the purpose for this conversation, and where are we located. So those are the 3 things you'll establish at the beginning, and then you'll just roll with it. So Paul, if I was like, you're my grandpa and I'm your grandson, Paul would give me, what is the purpose of us talking together? Why are we talking, Paul? I think I'm losing you over the other cell phones. But that's what you would do. No, it's okay. It's okay. So, and that's another thing. Every movement you do, be aware that it creates sound. So that's it. Tonight's also about realizing some of that. So that's right, though, Paul. You would throw in the what. I'll come back with the where, and then we'll do that scene right there on the spot. Any questions before we jump into our scenes tonight?
Nope.
All right, let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a great class. What's that? Yes.
I was practicing with Monica, and I was just wondering, do you do stuff like, say, sisters in a kitchen? How do you avoid, like, the obvious where it's like, oh, you're making toast, or, oh, you're making this? Like, not have the action based on the location and be more creative?
Well, the creative depends on sort of the location, right? So let's be honest with each other. Like, you look into a home, the creativity would come from the kind of relationship and the character you choose. So I only have, in my house, the kind of toaster that I can afford, unless somebody gives me a really, really nice toaster, right? So like I was about to buy like a cheap, really pretty cheap blender, and then Scotty hooked me up with a friend who was able to get me a blender that I paid way less for and that was super awesome. Okay. But if I'm making $1 million, you better believe my kitchen's looking a little different, right? There's more things in it. There's more stuff. So then I can use sort of that stuff to my advantage to creatively build something based on character and things that are natural though. Like there shouldn't just randomly be an elephant in my kitchen. Like that doesn't make any sense, you know? You want to go within reality, but there are plenty of ways to get creative by understanding who you are as a character. Like if you eat only greens and you're like a vegan, that kitchen looks a lot different than if all you do is eat out all the time and you never do your dishes.
Oh, so the location can kind of help like what you're doing in the scene? You shouldn't like go against that?
Absolutely. It will definitely help you with what's going on in the scene, and you want to stick to that 100%.
That makes so much more sense. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, let me get you guys set here really quick. There we go. All right. So we'll start off with the who, what, where. I'm going to start over here with you, Connor. You'll give us our who. She will give us the what, and then you'll give us the where, and we'll start the scene.
Okay. Who? 2 girls. Teenage girls.
Okay, and give me a what off of that, Brianna. One sec,
Talking
Brianna.
about guys. Sorry, I was muted for a second. Talking about guys.
Talking about guys. Okay, and where are we located?
Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen. Okay. Okay, you'll get a little round of applause. That'll be your start, and then you can begin the scene, okay?
Oh my God, Jessica, did you hear about Derek?
Derek? No. What?
Oh my God, he's just such a dork. He's like, does the stupidest thing with the pencil you won't believe.
What do you like does he do that thing with the mustache or what?
Yes, he does, but it's also in a way that's like so charming. He'd like talk to me at school and he'd be like, hey, want to hang out sometime? And it's like, oh, stop.
Hey, want to hang out sometime? What a freaking loser.
Some guys are so desperate like that, aren't they?
They'll do anything to get your attention, you know? They're always like that. You just got to get used to it.
I know.
You know, yeah, and I feel like you've grown so much and all these guys are just coming and just sliding in your DMs now, and it's kind of, I don't know how to feel about it. Like, you have always been my best friend, and now I feel like, you know, you spend most of your time like trying to talk to all these guys and we don't really get to hang out all that much.
Jessica, that's so sweet of you.
I mean,
it's
Pause. Okay, gotta stop you there.
Sorry.
So, yes. Okay, in that moment you felt it, Brianna, so you stopped. That's great. You gave a reaction that was weird. Okay?
Yeah.
Which is fine. Now that's part of your character. Because your character was already kind of a like self-absorbed person, and now she said yes to that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Connor, now you deal with that. That's it. So she was about to, and then you were going to cut her off there, Brianna. Let her deal with it. And deal with it shortly. Give us something small that Brianna can deal with and bounce off of. But let Connor give you something there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's take it back. And just from Connor's response. So go ahead and say one more time, Brianna. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly what you do all the time. Like, you make it about you. You make it about you. We're here eating ice cream and you're talking to me about some stupid guy with a mustache.
Good. That's the too much. That's the too much. Do you feel that, Connor?
Yeah.
So you gave her gold. You're like, here you go. Actually, let me give you some more stuff. And then we layer that down and it gets hidden. So you gave her gold with the fact that this is what you do. And you described how you felt about it for a second. And then you wanted to go into all the details.
Okay.
Let us fill in the details together and just deal with the meat of that. So let's take that line back. And again, it's improv, so you can rephrase it. But start off from the beginning of that line.
Mm-hmm. You always do this.
What do you mean, Jessica? I'm here for you.
You're here for me?
Yeah. I mean, I hate dairy. I am lactose intolerant, but I am here to just hang out with you because I haven't seen you forever.
You hate dairy and that's why you're hanging out with me. This is typical you. This is what you do.
Really? Go on.
Yes. You're allergic to dairy. You're eating a Mr. Freeze, first of all, which has no dairy in it.
Well, I like to keep my selections very limited and very organic. I just feel like without the
Just
dairy.
like your guys, right?
Really?
Oh, dang. Fierce, Connor. Fierce. Okay, cool. So we found some good moments. What I loved is we found a relationship right away, which is great. It was very clear the type that we were friends. In the beginning, Connor, when our who was, it was just teenage girls. We didn't know what kind we were going to be yet. So for future, and when you're doing initiations in your second set, as specific as possible. Like, you want to think in your mind, what kind of teenage girls are these? And you guys got there. That was great. But just as you're going, you create that in your mind, and then you build your character off of that, okay? And then when we went to talking guys, right? That's where it's easy to get stuck, Brianna, and everybody watching, in just talking about stuff or people that aren't, that we don't care about, right? So you guys did well at going away from the boys and making it about her. As soon as Connor, you were like, oh no, it's about her, then we cared.
Oh.
If we talked to, and it was good to talk about the boys, but if we had talked about the boys any longer, I'm telling you, you would have lost us. So you use them as sort of a way to let us know what kind of people you are and what's going on in their lives, see a bit of their friendship, and then we get into how we feel about each other. And then that's when the scene really got its meat, okay? Okay, good. Good job, girls. Woo.
Yeah, great job, Connor.
Good job. Great job.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go ahead and mute those lives, guys. Turn that cell phone. We got Truman and Paul. All right. Hello there, Paul. Truman.
Hello.
Hey, Truman.
Hi, Paul.
Are you just super psyched to be in a scene with Truman or with Paul right now, Truman?
Yeah, I am. I'm like, oh, I want to do this. I think it'd be really cool. And then I saw him on there. I'm like, yes.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, Paul, let's start off with you. Go ahead and give us a relationship, a way that two people know each other.
Okay, let's say two gangster brothers.
Okay, we are two gangster brothers, okay? And what is happening in this scene? What is the purpose of this conversation?
We are planning to rob a gas station.
Okay, good. Planning to rob a gas station. And Paul, where are we located right now?
Let's say, I don't really know places in Arizona, but I'd say a gas station close to a movie theater, maybe.
Okay, good. So Paul, this is perfect. You don't need to know Arizona. You don't need to know anywhere. That's the cool part. So we're thinking about this. We're plotting to rob the store, right? So we wouldn't be at it yet. So where might you go plot something? Where might you plan something? If you were planning something, anything, where would you be?
McDonald's.
Okay. Yes, perfect. You guys are at McDonald's and we are planning our grand heist here. Let's be nice and slow. Listen in for the lag. Let's get a big round of applause, and you guys can start right after your applause.
So this is my first time doing this.
What do you mean this is your first time? Like, don't you know about this stuff? Like, let's get this together, okay? This is big.
Okay, good. I'm going to pause you, Paul, because I love that. So this is an improv rule that I want you to write down after the scene's over. We want to play tennis. So what that means is I want to throw you one, you want to throw me one. I throw you something, you throw me something. So your reaction was so great. Just, what do you mean you've never done this before? What you told me there was, I'm an expert. What the heck? How did this guy get hired? What's going on here?
Yes.
So that's a lot of info. Now I'm curious as to why. So you threw that out there. Now let's get Truman's response before we talk again. Okay? So go ahead and ask him just that question again.
What do you mean you've never done this before?
I don't know. I'm new to this, you know?
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, I used to be a good kid, but it got me nowhere.
Oh, yeah. I think same for me, too. You know what? Let's get back to what we were discussing.
Yeah. So do we go in through the front or the back?
No, according to the plan here, you see this? There is a plan from the back. We go in through the back and we get busted because he has some, weird security protocols. So we get back. But if we come through the front, like, okay, yeah, we're about to get gas, and then we just add normal, we could corner and go to the back. I'll be at the back.
Good, leave it there. So that's the same thing, Paul. One little piece. And it's so hard because we're so used to, like, we want to just keep throwing out. We want our partner to know exactly where we're at. Instead, one little gem. Let him deal with that. And Truman, I want you to realize there was a gem in there for you with a specific word. He said, if we do that, we'll get what? Do you remember? We'll get what?
Gassed, right?
Busted, right?
Oh, busted.
So this character that you're playing is he terrified of what's about to happen, possibly?
Yeah, most likely.
Probably. So when you hear busted, you're not going to let the conversation continue. You're going to deal with that. Sure. We'd go like, wait, busted? What do you mean? So then Paul gets to then tell us what that means. What do you mean busted? And Paul's like, go ahead. What do you mean?
Okay.
What do you mean busted?
Oh, wait. There's security protocol, man. He's got a guard, like a huge guard, almost like a club bouncer. Did you see him? Oh, you've never been there.
No, I haven't done this before. You said it was clear.
I know you haven't done this before, kid. I mean, haven't you been to the gas station before?
I mean, I don't really live around this area.
Oh.
Yes, and scene. Okay, great. Woo! Good job, guys. Good job. Dang. All right. So I'll close you with this. It's all about just throwing that one thing and dealing with that. And then it was so funny, Paul, to watch your character just, even at the end, go, pff, like, you didn't have to say a word, and we saw you in your eyes and your body language go, amateur. Like, and you automatically get a laugh. You get us connected because we believe you, and you don't have to speak. So there's times where we think we need to because we're in the spotlight, we're on stage, or we're the one on camera. Forget that. Like, throw out what you need to when you need to, and trust that an audience is going to receive it. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Great work.
Beautiful.
Woo!
And
See you back soon. And you don't have to speak. So there's a we think you need to. Hello, Alicia. Let's turn that phone over.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, you're good, Mom. Let's turn the phone. Alicia's turning her phone over. You're good.
You're welcome, guys. Great work.
Still got a live going there. Let me check and see if that's yours.
Be back soon.
It is. I'll turn
Okay.
it. I just saw it. Okay.
Would you hit pause or mute on your brand new Apple TV that you're beautiful,
yes,
beautiful?
I did that already. I'm good.
Are you just loving that Apple TV?
I am loving it. Thank you, son. I'm learning
Hey.
more every day on it.
Hey, that's awesome. Well, that's really, I mean, Joey, Jimmy, it was the whole thing. So especially Joey.
Yeah.
So cool. All right.
Well, thank you.
Mother's Day.
I'm sure that everybody in class is saying, why did you spend that money on an Apple TV when she can't even turn on the phone or a computer?
Well, look, you're right on right now. So now we know why. It's great. Okay. So Alicia, go ahead and give us a who, please.
We are food truck workers.
Okay. And what are we doing, Mom? What is the purpose of this conversation?
I found out that she's making more money than me.
Okay, great. And where are we?
We are on the beach.
On the beach. Love it. Okay. So, Mom, turn your phone a little because it's like vertical right now.
This
There we
way?
go. Yeah, we can do that way. That works. Try going the other way one more time and see if it'll flip. It just didn't do it last time.
I can make me, I'm trying to make me bigger, you know, because I only got this little box. I can't see.
Weird. Flip it back again.
It just didn't do anything. I see you. I don't even see me at all now.
Yeah, you can just turn your phone back again. But you can see, can you see Alicia?
I can't see anyone.
Okay, turn.
Now I can see two deering icons, me this sideways and her going the other
Okay,
direction.
perfect.
There.
Now double click her.
Yeah. Double click her.
Double click Alicia.
I did. Okay.
Now she's the only
Now
one you see, right?
I can see Alicia. She's going horizontally, I guess.
Hey, yeah. Okay, great.
I'm just up in the corner in a tiny box. I can't.
Yeah, you don't need to see you. You just need to see her. So that's perfect.
Okay.
All right, here we go. And action.
You know, why did you hold this from me?
I mean, business is business, and you gotta put aside friendship when it comes to money.
Business is Ben's business? Are you kidding me right now?
No, I'm not. Honestly, I'm trying to look out for my family. I'm making money, and that's really all I care about. We can be friends on the side, but other than that, I don't really care.
So what you're trying to say to me is after all of these years we've been working at this company, you don't really care about me at all.
I appreciate your guidance on this journey, and I wouldn't be where I am without you. But I think we've reached a point where we can go our separate ways.
I don't even know what to say to you right now.
You don't have to say anything. Because I know that I'm going places. And you? Probably not.
Are you kidding me? Again? You think I'm not going places?
Well, I mean, the statistics do show that I'm doing way better than you. And I feel like it would be pretty odd if that changed now.
Who do you think taught you all this stuff?
You may have been there in the beginning stages, but I've developed my own way. And it's
I can hardly take this right now.
I don't know what to say to you, man. I'm just better.
Well, I tell you what, you think whatever you want to think about yourself, but it's going to come out. It's going to come out that I'm the one that taught you everything you know. So it's about time you listen and learn and admit it. Do you got that?
Whatever you say.
And
I know what I
scene. Oh man. It was honestly, it's got so intense for me, I couldn't even jump in. I was like, oh man, this is great. This is great. So I just want to talk about a couple moments of growth, actually. Way to start using the phone, Mom, to different angles. That's what we're talking about.
Thank you.
Like just
Yeah.
being creative, right? You find ways to be creative and we get invested in what you're doing.
Okay, thanks.
And then Alicia, you did the same thing. You picked a very specific angle, right? So my small note to you is thinking through, again, even building ideas on things you could have. Where do you imagine yourself here? We're on the beach or whatever. Like, if you had just random things around you, you could grab a journal. You could be on your phone for a second. You could have a drink next to you. Like, there's so many options, because I don't think that your character would give her all of your attention.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling that in moments, do whatever you can do within the space you have, whether that's get up and out of frame or whatever. But there were several moments where I'm like, why is she caring so much? Like, you as a character wouldn't. So keep listening in for that. And I saw that I could feel that your gut was sort of telling you that, because the angle was right on from the top. Like, right off, I was like, okay, I know what type of character you are. So now that we know that within that character, if she keeps complaining, you're just not going to care as much. The dialogue was great. The attention of where we're looking is the thing we want to focus on there. Okay? Great character work, guys.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
How did you have your angle? Where's your phone at, Alicia?
I'm sitting on my floor, so it's like propped up against my laptop right now.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's up higher than you or down low?
Oh, it's lower than me.
It's lower, looking up. Okay, thanks. I was just curious.
So let me ask this for the class. Did you set that up, kind of practice it, look at how it would be held up? Alicia?
I did. I walked around my room, and then I had it down on the ground, but that wasn't the character that she made me be. So until I had to get up and be mad at her and walk around.
Sure. Alicia?
Yeah, I had this like set up there. So like once I saw myself on the Zoom, I was like, okay, my character is probably like the dominant one, I guess.
Totally. So that's that, again, that's that sort of having prepped, like Mom, you said you had looked at it in a couple places. Great, you didn't use one of them, that will happen. So watching Alicia's, you set it up a certain way and you plan it. You sort of prepare, how will this be? Will this fall over? Like, how do I look from here? And it worked, Alicia. It totally worked. So now I want you to do that through other spots in your room, other spots of wherever you are. Okay? Very good. Very good work, guys. All right.
Thank you. Great job, Alicia. Thanks a lot.
You too.
Woo. The lion's up.
Here.
And now I am.
Oh, let me turn on the light.
Gotta turn on that light, Elizabeth. Don't want to miss out on that great lighting. You prepare.
Right? It's so hot and it's pointed at my face, and I didn't want to look sweaty.
I get it. It's the opposite problem here because it's always freezing here.
Well, my makeup will run, dude. We can't have that.
No.
Not at all. Not at all.
Alrighty, let's start off here. Let's go with a who first. Elizabeth, why don't you go first, and then Dakota, you'll give us a what, and then a where. Back to Elizabeth.
We're high school nemesis who matched on Tinder.
Okay. What are we talking about?
What is the point of this? So she kind of hit it with Tinder a little bit, but you can explore either so if that happens, you can either explore your perspective on it, or you can explore just like the what of what's happening. Like,
I was gonna say to go on like a video date.
Perfect. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, and am I the where?
Yeah.
Okay, we are on our 30-minute lunch break in the back of our work.
So both of you at your work are having on a 30-minute lunch break, and that's where we're doing this. I freaking love this. All right, here we go.
Okay, I'll be back. Okay. Well, here we are. I never thought that I would see your face again, but I mean, obviously we have to address the elephant in the room. how are you? How have you been?
Yeah, this is weird.
Okay, good. I gotta stop there for a second. We had a amazing moment happen. Did you realize that Dakota was still getting ready?
No, I couldn't see him.
Oh, you couldn't see him? Okay, can you see her?
Yeah.
Okay, so set up your phone so you can see him. Make sure you can see.
I got it now.
Okay, perfect,
Yeah,
perfect. So basically, he was still like doing his thing. Like he's kind of like doing this, right? And like getting ready. And you started talking to him, okay? So Dakota, if that happens, and it will, use it. These are the happy accidents in improv. So she talks. So go ahead and now you know it, but pretend like you don't realize that's the case. You think I'm in the chat right now, and start talking to me.
Me?
Yeah, talk to me.
Okay.
Like I was there.
So yeah, I saw you on Tinder and I thought it'd be like a great joke, and you know, I don't know, I just decided to swipe on you. And
Hello?
I guess
Hello? You there?
I've been here for like 5 minutes now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Like whatever. Like now you've dealt with that thing, and now that's created a moment already between you right off the top.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I don't want to try and recreate that. Now it'll just be as if you just started it. But that was a lesson I really wanted you guys to notice, because this is a technology version of this, but this happens on stage all the time, where like one thing will end up happening and a person doesn't realize it. Happy accidents. Like one time there was a baby crying in the audience, and so that became a part of the scene, and then I jumped out and I was the baby. Like there's like stuff like that will happen, and if you can learn to go, okay, this is happening right now, let me use it, bring attention to it instead of hiding back, it'll be something cool. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. Great. All right, let's start the scene over. Both same energy, but we're just starting right off the beginning of the call.
Okay. Oh, wow, you haven't changed a bit.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. This is awkward. I think we can just clear that out of the room right now. This is very awkward. You see, I had one too many White Claws at my fraternity party, and I woke up to your message. So, I mean, not that, you know, it's been forever since we've seen each other, so I don't know.
So you saw my message when you were drunk?
No, I saw it this morning, and, you know, not gonna lie, kind of feeling lonely or whatever, so I figured I'd take your invitation and see why you swiped on me. So
yeah, I would just you know, I was just hanging out, was just, yeah, you know, like you said, I was feeling lonely too.
Okay.
I just decided to just swipe right on that, just swipe right on you.
Oh, sure. So I mean, was it intentional? Because I'm like, dude, we hated each other. Like, you like Star Wars, I like Star Trek. Like, obviously, that's like a huge deal breaker.
Good. I want to take it back a little. So, one piece at a time to him. Okay? So, just start with just that first part you said. That's it. Don't worry about Star Wars and all that. Just because we hated, that was a goal. That was awesome.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't know why you swiped on me, because from what I remember, we hated each other. So.
Yeah, we did. And like, yeah, we did. Yeah. But like, yeah, you know? Yeah, we did. Didn't we?
A lot.
Yeah, I didn't like you.
No, and I didn't like you. Dude, I gave you a wedgie in front of like the whole class on graduation. Like.
Yeah, I remember that. That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but like, you're pretty. You know, so I like saw your picture, and I just swiped right because you're pretty. Yeah.
You're just saying that to be nice. I mean, you don't. Okay, but what's pretty about me? Like...
And scene. Okay, but like, what's pretty about me? Awesome. Okay, so we see when we pause and we just give a piece of information, you give a gift to Dakota to figure out the answer.
Okay.
So if you had one in your brain for Star Wars, Star Trek, all this, but that was all just like, it was flying like really fast in the moment. If you just let him deal with the most emotional thing is we hated each other. Yes. Now we as an audience are dying to know why. We're dying to know, okay, well then, yeah, now that that's a fact, now that it's been dropped, why did he call her? What is the deal? Because there's all kinds of options. There's like, there's you used to be not attractive and now you are, and you saw your profile and he's like, dang, you know. There's the reverse end of that where like you were attractive in high school and he wasn't, and now he's like this super buff dude who's got a crazy six pack, and again, improv creates anything. That like you can literally be anything. Like I can be a 300-pound linebacker if I decide to in the scene and it's been justified. I can be a girl, I can be a grandma, I can be anything. So like that's all those options are out there. So when you just throw him the one thing, you give Dakota the option to figure out what that answer is, and then you get to build off of his idea. He gets to build off your idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Super, super cool.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that was fun. I like that.
Yeah. Good work, guys. Good work.
Good work.
I have at another moment. I'll talk about it when we all come back together. Good job.
Thanks.
So actually, there for our online audience, there is something. I'll just hit on it now. Actually, the cool thing about the collectiveness of that is that's what makes improv what it is. Like stand up, it's you. It's all you. You're on your own. Like you're playing your own sport there. You're writing everything. You're testing different things, but it's not as in the moment. In this, it's so in the moment, so reliant on a partner that all your ideas come from them and your ideas come from them, and two people collectively can create something so much greater than one person can create alone. I mean, that just goes right into life, really. When you're willing to listen and team up on something, the chances of it being better are super high. And so that's what you two did together. When you were patient with each other, we kind of built something together, and we as an audience keep guessing at what that next thing's going to be. And when it's what we don't expect, that's when we end up getting some big laugh. It's realistic, but unexpected. And we start to get there. Cool. So I got Ian in here. Just need one more partner, Shay.
Sorry, I was trying to get Nick in there, and it was not happening. Give me 1 second.
No problem.
Sorry, Ian. Didn't mean to leave you on your lonesome.
Ian, how cool is it seeing Paul in the class?
Yeah, I was excited. I was trying to post on Instagram, and then I couldn't because it was on the video. So it's like, but I'm always hyping people up. I'm hyping myself.
You are the man, dude. You are very good at that. Absolutely. You know. After class, there's always after class share moments.
Well, I told him like at 4 o'clock, like I told him that it's showing dedication to it. Like a lot of people don't even show up for class here now, and it's at 8. Like we make so many excuses, and he was grateful. He said, he's like, dude, like it was offered to me. Why wouldn't I take it? So he has a great mindset.
Absolutely, absolutely, and then I mean we can all learn from that. It's just making a choice. It's making a choice. Absolutely. All right, what's up, Nick?
Hey, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, you're good, man. Don't worry about it. All right, we're going to start off. Ian's going to give us our who, you'll give us our what, and then we'll get our where and begin the scene.
Okay. Of course. We're two FBI agents.
Perfect.
Rookie FBI agents. Two rookie FBI.
We are waiting to go on our first assignment together.
And is it the where next?
Yep.
Let's keep it simple. We're in the office. We're about to hit the streets, but we're in the office.
Perfect. Okay, here we go.
Hey, Tom, can you believe that? A real serial killer. Can you believe we're going to go find this guy?
Probably not. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not good at tracking people.
I mean, we spent like a whole year learning how to track people. What's the matter? You look a little frightened. I thought you'd be excited.
I cheated on a lot of my tests, okay?
What do you mean you cheated? How is that even possible?
Keep your voice down, okay, man? Look, I'm good at accounting, okay? That's what I do. I don't find serial killers.
So, all right, so you're telling me that this whole time you've been in training, you really were an accountant. You don't want anything to do with finding serial killers or...
Well, I thought it would be like on the drug side of it, right? Not killers. I even put in a request for it.
Okay, good. I'm going to start you guys over here. Ian, great job on first improv scene in the class. Hey. So, starting off, one of the rules of improv that I want you to write down and notice is we want to say yes to ideas. Okay?
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that was my problem.
So it's okay. There are going to be times where you do say no. And actually, you stuck to your character's perspective, which is why I let it keep going. It wasn't like I'm just denying. You just had made a decision that you were this guy. So this kind of guy, he cheated, and so he doesn't want these certain things. The issue with that is it's already been laid a foundation so of where we're going. So it's kind of like denying his foundation.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you look super nervous and he's like, yeah, you're nervous, you know, and then we drop the cheat thing. Now it's about you cheating on this thing, and Nick's afraid for his life at this point. And it's not about this, like, we kept getting off to side things like accounting and this other stuff. Like you did want to be in the FBI, but you cheated, and now it's actually happening, and it's like, this is terrifying. Okay? So that's that idea of just saying yes. Now, that being said, let's go to the beginning and let's just totally reframe it with completely yes and see what happens.
Okay.
I'm curious.
Okay.
Okay. Start off with that initiation, Nick.
Wow, John, it's an actual serial killer. Can you believe that? We're going to go find this guy together?
Yeah, I do. I do believe it.
Get psyched, Ian. Get in the boat with him. Get in the boat with him.
I'm
Go
ready.
again, Nick.
I mean, I'm excited.
We're gonna take it back.
I've been waiting.
We're gonna take it back, Ian. I'm gonna let Nick give you that energy, and I want you to feed off it. Okay.
All
right. Let's go all in.
Oh, God, can you believe this? Can you believe you and I are going to go get this serial killer? You and I. Can you believe this is going to happen?
I can. Top five most wanted, bro. Woo.
This is the guy that's been, what was he doing? Like, he was like wearing people's skin off their hands or something. It doesn't matter, man. But you and I were going to catch this guy.
John, this is what they tell true life crime stories about on TV. We'll be famous.
All right, let's think about it one step at a time, though. We really got to have a good plan because they're trusting us with this one. You know, this is our first time out, and so what's your plan?
Okay, good.
Like,
you feel yourself derail there a little bit, Nick?
I definitely did.
Okay, good. I'm glad. That's what it's about, guys. It's about going, oh, I felt that. Darn, what happened? So tell me what happened. Can you find it?
So I was trying to go somewhere else with, it's our first time. So I was like, well, don't say that again. And then I ended up going there again. So I just kind of got confused, I guess, with where I was going to go.
Sure. So only deal with what's right in front of you there. So the last thing he said, and you guys, what's awesome is now that you're in the same boat, we made that decision, you're both psyched. Right? You're like, this is amazing. And there's honestly some comedy to the fact that you guys are psyched about like finding a serial killer. Like usually detectives are pretty serious and whatever. And he's like, hey, we're going to be famous, right? That was kind of the last thing that was said. And you're like, all right, like screw that. Hold on, let's focus on the plan. So basically we took it away from the thing that was just given to us to try and go with a new idea. So instead, right away, he says that thing about being famous, jump on board with that. We're like, totally, dude. We're going to be like, and whoever, you name some celebrity, and then you guys get on board with that idea and build on that. If you were playing a different type of character, you might be like, well, yeah, man, for sure. But I mean, that's not what it's really about. And then that's where, Ian, you might have a different perspective. You're like, oh, man, that's why I signed up.
Yeah.
Nick's like, wait, what? Yeah, man, I just want to be famous. I'm so psyched about it. And you're like, dude, like, that's not a good reason to be in the bureau or whatever. And that's where two people can have a no. You can say no to that, Ian, in that sense, because we've established something and you now have a point of view on a particular thing. Do you guys follow that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Nick, way to find it, way to point it out, dude. That's what it's all about. We keep doing that. We're just going to keep growing. All right, guys. Nice work.
Awesome job, dude. Awesome, dude.
Thank you, Nick. It was fun. I even came up with an idea later on.
That is typically the case, Ian. And now I got to talk on it while we go to the middle. While we talk about that, you'll watch in the live, you'll see it. But basically, all the time in improv, you know, you're sitting in the audience. And when you're in the audience, ideas flow. And you're like, oh, they should have done this. They should have done this. Why? Why is that? Well, because we're in the outside looking in.
Yeah.
We can see everything. So if we realize that, you can notice that's the case with everybody. That literally anybody watching is seeing everything that's happening. Everything. And you, as an actor in class, can do that for yourself by going back and watching your footage.
Yeah.
As an audience member and going, oh, that was, you know, they said that there, and if I had listened a little better, I would have noticed this. And you take notes and realize, oh, I could have gone here, could have gone there, from just watching and growing through your own take. But it also helps us just realize that all the things that an audience sees that we sometimes don't realize when we're just in it, right? Cool. Mr. Bradley, hey, Mornings with Matt Bradley. What's up, my friend?
I'm so sorry, sir.
Sorry you're here, bro. I'm so psyched that you're here. It's harder to get here late at night than early in the morning, you know?
That's true. Well, for me,
Brian, I'm gonna have Connor go again. I think that is it.
Okay, great. Thank you, Shay.
No problem.
I'm just teasing you, Bradley. It's part of my job. All right, bro. So you're going to give us our who. That's the who we are to each other, okay? You're going to basically just flat out say it. Then Connor's going to give us a what, aka what is the purpose of this conversation? Like why are we talking essentially? And then you'll give us a where of where we are. So you can either say we're both like here or I'm here and you're there, whatever makes the most sense based on the first two that we get. Does that make sense, Bradley?
I think.
Okay, I'll walk you through it. So
all right.
Look at Connor. Just see her. We'll go off of each other in this one, okay?
How could I see Connor?
Do you see her on your screen?
No, I just see you.
Okay. What about now?
Hold on. Check that. No, I just see Daring Acting Studio.
Scroll to the right.
Scroll to the right. Scroll to the right. Oh, okay.
And now double click her.
Connor.
Hi.
Is she your full screen?
Yes. Oh no, she's not my full screen. There's her, the Daring Acting Studio logo, and another Daring Acting
You ready
Studio
to have your mind just blown right now, Bradley?
Yeah.
Are you ready though?
I don't. Let's see. Let's see.
Just double click her.
Double click her. Ooh. Okay. Technology. All right.
Fun trick for everybody who's using this. When you're in that gallery and you can see everybody, if you double click the person, then they're the only person on your screen. It's awesome.
I didn't know that.
And now we do. It's going to make your scene so much easier. Like when I was in master class, that's when we had to figure that out because I was like, I cannot act if I could keep seeing the logo pop in and out. It's so much harder. I mean, so it's cool. All right. So Bradley, now look at her.
Yeah.
See her setting. What do you imagine you and her being? Like
boyfriend, girlfriend.
Perfect. So that's all you say. You say we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay.
Okay. So now Connor will give us a what is the purpose for this conversation?
I'm going back home to meet his family for the first time, and I'm super nervous about it.
Okay. And Bradley, where are we right now?
We are at the airport.
We are at the airport. Okay. I love it. All right, so we're going to start that scene here. Either one of you can start with an initiation. As our senior player, I'll let Connor do that, actually. She'll frame you with something, and we'll start from there. Here we go.
Doug?
Yes?
Doug.
What, Chelsea?
Do you think your mom's going to like me?
Define like. Like okay, no, it's just so that she's a particular person. So it's like it really depends on like what you do, what you say, how you smell.
Hi. Oh my God.
Oh, hold on. Do you want a pretzel?
No. I do not want a pretzel. I can't eat right now. I'm freaking out. My palms are literally sweating. I'm like a freaking Eminem song.
Oh, but just wipe it on your jeans. You can't have sweaty palms at the airport. It's a thing with TSA.
Okay. So, have you
Good, pause. Connor, you cannot let that slide. You cannot let that slide, right?
Okay.
So that is the weird got introduced. Bradley, you played it straight, which is there's this guy and he's not helpful at all. He's not helpful, not helping his girlfriend feel any better. Can I get a pretzel? It kind of got established in the beginning with the whole like, oh, that's just the way she is, right? You didn't really console her at all, which sort of gave us a inkling of who you were, and I think you started building on that. So now, don't have sweaty palms like that's gonna mess with TSA or whatever. Like, he didn't even deal with where you're at right now. He's being kind of a jerk. So I want you to deal with that however you want to, okay? Yeah. However it feels right. So go back with that TSA line, Bradley.
Okay. Wiping on your jeans or something, it's an issue with TSA.
Issue with TSA? I'm about to have an issue going home with you.
Look, what is it? What are you worried about?
What if she hates me?
She's not going to hate you. She's not.
Wait, have you brought anybody home before?
Yeah, she hated all of them. But then you're different. That you're different, and that's why I'm not worried about her hating you.
Yeah. Okay, great. Do we have an exit strategy?
Exit strategy?
Yeah, like, is there like
her?
Is there
good.
emergency
So I'll take it back
call?
there. So Bradley, doing great. Okay. So now we got the exit. Is there an exit strategy? Your answer was perfect. And again, I think this is the sketch side of you, right? It comes up with all these comedy ideas that flow. Sometimes it's just about being present. It's about just responding with just one small thing. So you gave the perfect answer in exit strategy. That's it. Okay. So now let her deal with you saying that, see what she says, and then let that affect your next line. It's like we're processing and remembering everything that's happened all the way through the scene, but the most important is the last thing that was said.
Okay.
And this is all acting, this is life. We think about it like when you're in conversation with someone and they give you like this long story or whatever, typically there's one piece that you take from it. And you go into the conversation and in the next piece off of that one piece. And typically, not always, typically, it's something that happened right there towards the end. So you've given another gift going like, what do you mean exit strategy kind of deal? And now we're going to find out from her what that looks like. Then you're going to deal with that. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's just go from you asking exit strategy.
Exit strategy?
Yeah. If I need to jump out the plane before we get there.
You're being dramatic.
Good. So slow down even more, Bradley, because you are. Do you think your guy's sarcastic?
Is my guy sarcastic?
Yeah, is your character sarcastic?
Maybe a little bit, but unintentionally.
Okay, so I want you to be a little more patient to seek moments where it's truthful. Repeat that line again, Connor. I want to hear if you can hear it. Say that again, ish.
I said, in case I need to jump out the plane. In case I need to jump out the plane.
Okay, jump out the plane with you, right? Where are you at right now?
We're at the airport.
What don't you ever say at an airport or on a plane? You don't talk about jumping out of it, and you don't talk about bombs. Those are the two things you can't talk about.
Yeah.
Right? So it's all about just hyper listening because you're doing a great job, Bradley. So I'm nitpicking here. I'm finding little moments that you can build on. If you can realize that, and we put ourselves in the location, you're like, shh, like you can't say that. And she's like, say what? You're like, jump on a plane, like whatever. And you like have this little moment. It reminds me, like I think it's Meet the Parents or Meet the Fockers. Have you seen that movie before?
Yes.
Where he talks about the bomb, like that whole thing ends up happening. It happened from honestly, he's just like saying it naturally, and then someone calls him on it, and then he just breaks, right? So it's just noticing those little tiny details and being aware of them. And the only reason I brought up the sarcasm in that was because earlier in the scene, you had done something like that with the TSA, which made me feel that he's either sarcastic or he's just like really paranoid about planes and this kind of stuff. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. Guys, great scene. Good work.
Thank you.
So good having you in class, Bradley. All the way from LA. Woo! Yeah. If you guys have not seen Bradley's Morning with Matt episode, you guys got to check that out. It was this morning. They talked a lot about so many things, specifically LA. They talked through LA a little bit, and Bradley gave some really good advice to up-and-coming actors. So definitely check that out. It's up on our YouTube, and it's super awesome.
Hannah Banana, I am so sorry.
Hannah
That was
Banana.
totally my fault. I am so sorry. And thank you to Dakota, who sweetly reminded me that I had forgotten about you. I had switched you and Alicia. I am so sorry. My bad.
Wait, what is going? Sorry.
You're good.
Okay. It was like lagging. Am I in like a group thing now, or is it just me?
It's you, and we'll get you a partner.
I'm gonna get you a partner right now.
I didn't know what to do because I like don't have your guys' phone number, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's
I got you, girl.
If that ever happens, Shay's got you. If we ended up back in the group, this is actually a lesson for everybody. I gotta hit on it. Just be transparent, please.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
for
I am
real.
a human being.
We are human as well. And so, like, for example, now that I'm on here, when we go back to the main part, sometimes there's these spots where, like, right now I'm pushing it over here so you can see. And you'll be the only one who'll be able to see this here. I will hit a button and my video goes away, right? For you guys, it becomes a logo. Well, I'll forget to push that back, and then we come back, and I'm teaching a quarter of a class at the end, and then somebody finally texts and is like, "Hey, you know we can't see you, right?" It's like, no, but everyone else is like, Yeah. So there's this thing where, like, if something's going on, be the one who's courageous and points it out, and then boom, we'll get you right going. So love it. All right, we ready?
Yes.
Okay, Hannah, you are going to give us our who. Elizabeth, you are what? And Hannah, you'll be our where.
Dancers.
We are dancers. Great.
And we are talking about auditioning. There's one role left for a specific part that we want.
Yes.
And where are we?
Okay, yes. The McDonald's drive-through.
McDonald's drive-through. Okay, here we go. Don't be sorry. That's brilliant. I love it. Okay, so we'll get set for that scene. Let's imagine there's sort of a long line, so it'll be a bit before you get there. Okay.
I might as well park.
I mean, it's up to you. I don't think we have that. Oh, no, we have 5 cars in front of us. We might as well just park.
Like to go inside or just turn off the car and park right here?
Well, I mean, you know how it's kind of like Dutch, like, you know, the line like never dies down. So I feel like if we just park for a second and then we'll hop back in line, because I mean, I have an email that I need to tell you about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it involving an audition?
You know, being that, you know, our coach has always said that you're very jolty. While we're in line with the car, no offense to you, I just think that we should pull over because it's some big news. So I'm gonna pull us over. And just don't freak out, okay? Because I cannot afford to get another point on my license, especially with everything that's going on. So.
Oh my God. Are you gonna tell me? Wait.
Okay.
I got the part?
You got the part? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, like, is this like some sort of surprise? I was really curious on why we're going to McDonald's.
We're going to McDonald's because I'm broke, but actually it's between us. We have to decide and we have to go against each other. So I just wanted to treat you to your favorite Oreo McFlurry. I called ahead to see if they had the ice cream machine open, and they do, because I think you should give up the part and I deserve it. Okay. Is it hot in here? I'm gonna turn the AC on.
There's 2 things actually. One, you're trying to fatten me up with the McFlurry, so even if I do try to go against you, you'll win. And why do you just assume that I'm gonna let you have it?
Fatten you up? Me? No.
Come on.
I mean, okay, I know Coach has said that you can afford to lose a few pounds, but I wasn't trying to fatten you up. I mean, it's principle. You got the role last year.
Good. So I want to teach a lesson here, okay? There's been several moments in this scene where I feel like you would jump on top of the other person's line. Did you guys both feel that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
so I want to show you how that works in this format, okay? So start to say something offensive to me, Elizabeth, and I'll cut you off.
Okay. Well, Coach did say that you've been looking a little extra fat and really it's hard, so I don't know.
Wait. Extra fat?
Not my words. Not my words.
Are you serious? So like, I can say something else that basically tells her to shut up. I have something to say here. But what we can't do is if my response is extra fat, I cannot respond with that because the audience will lose it, right?
Okay.
And we have to know as a team, if the person is cutting me off, they're doing it strategically because they heard something really important. They heard something, and fat is that, right? There's no way that you let her continue to move on and keep talking if she called you fat. So you would cut her off there. You were being polite in this setting. So you do that. The other way to do it is do it for me one more time, Elizabeth.
Okay. You've been looking a little extra fat in your
fat. I've been looking extra fat.
Yeah, you've been looking extra fat, and I'm sorry that nobody else will tell you, but you deserve to know the truth because I'm your friend.
Okay, all right. First off, friends don't, so I can actually interrupt with the thing I want to interrupt with, which is the fat thing. I just then would have to repeat it.
Okay.
So if my gut's like extra fat, like I want to say that instead of like, wait, or something along those lines, you just would need to repeat it once it gets silent. And you did great at that, Elizabeth, like getting silent when I did cut you off. That's how it works. So like if Elizabeth tried to talk back to me right away, it wouldn't work. You have to let those silences sort of happen and trust that your partner, if they're cutting you off, has a very specific reason. And if it's off, I'll help you guys figure out, okay, we probably shouldn't have cut off here. Here's why. But if your gut's telling you to, you definitely should.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
So one more thing on that, Hannah, coming back here to this relationship. I love the idea of this, like these two friends who both do this. Then it got dropped that we're competing over the same role. So the other part is we don't want to talk too much about the McDonald's and this stuff. It's now about this role, like for real. So let's go back a little bit, and I want you to just drop that bomb, okay? Which was weird, but they're just look at her and just say, Elizabeth, they're gonna make us choose. And let's deal with that honestly as two friends.
Okay. All right. Okay, don't freak out, okay? They're going to make us choose for the role. I got the email today.
Stop. Okay. Choose for the role. That's important. You don't have to talk anymore.
Okay.
Right? So now you let her deal with that. And she might deal with it in silence for a bit.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, is it? Okay.
So now, so soak that in, Hannah. You just heard that.
Like, how do you think, like, what do you think oh, wait, hold on, sorry.
So here's what's happening. Now you're trying to talk, Hannah. You don't have to. Right? So Hannah, you asked me that question, or tell me that thing about the fact that it's going to be between us and we have to choose.
So I got the email, and unfortunately they said that we're going to have to choose which one of us stances for the competition.
Wait, we're choosing?
It appears so.
Is that like normal?
I don't know. Did you not get an email?
No, I didn't get an email.
Well,
so I sat in that silence for a minute until what came to me happened. And so whatever that is for you, it will. Trust that. Sit in the car And I think that for both of us, we're both working on this because I've talked about this with both of you. You have those quick minds, the wit, right? That's how we end up with like Britney's. Like that's right. Where that happens. And so I want us to just slow down a little bit and be okay with sitting in silence. Like even in this moment, as a person, and I'm saying this because I know you can handle it. You're jumping in right now with okays, right? Mm-hmm. So like you can just totally soak it in. And I do this all the friggin' time, by the way. So this is actually something I'm working on. I'm in the middle of a conversation, I'll go, yeah. And I'll throw in these little things instead of like really soaking it all in. And then right at the, like when it's done, then going, okay, here's what I got out of that. Ask a question or go totally or whatever. And it's training your brain to be totally cool with silence. And this looks different for everybody. Some of us it's ums, some of us it's uhs, likes. It just depends. In improv scenes, it often ends up talking more. Like we want to get totally comfortable with being quiet. Okay?
Okay.
Gosh, good characters, guys. Really good, really good. Okay, nice scene. Woo! All right, we're gonna bring everybody back in. Let's throw down some music so you can dance on your way in if you want, like whatever you want to do, you know. I'll bring down the, yeah, I mean, it's good stuff. I feel it. Dakota feels it.
No.
I see. All right, we're gonna bring
All right, let's go ahead and pause and or mute our live videos really quick. Pause or mute our live videos.
Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff. I feel it.
Who's that dude in the background? That's me. Okay, so let's talk takeaways really quick. So I'm gonna be looking over here because this is where my other screen is. So let's throw up some hands. I'll just call out some people. What are some takeaways from these scenes? From yours? From somebody else's? Yeah, Dakota. Hold on, I'm still getting somebody's.
Yeah.
My videos.
I think it's Vicky's.
Nice haircut, Dakota.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, she's trying to get her video in too. That's why. It'll come in. Okay, great. So, you mean Brian's mom?
Yeah, Mrs. Joey's and Brian's mom. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what her name is. Okay, great. All right, so go ahead and hit me up, Dakota.
If someone drops something important, you don't really need to add on anything after that.
That's right. Absolutely. Good. What else? Truman, yeah.
Tennis. Go back and forth.
Say that one more time.
Tennis. Go back and forth. Don't just like overload with information.
Yes, absolutely. Alicia.
Practice all the options so when it's time to perform, you have them all prepared already.
Totally. And this for all the scenes. One of the things that I would love to see more of next week is I would love to see those angles played out. And this happens a lot on stage and in performances. When we get into conversation, we get in a place where we just stare, right? So I'll go into your guys for a second, just look at your camera. Like if I was having a conversation right now with Bradley, and I'm like, yo, bro, dude, I'm just so glad like you were on the show and stuff. Like it was really good to see you, and it's been a while, you know? And Bradley responds. You can respond, Bradley.
Oh, okay. No, I'm grateful that you guys invited me, and it's nice to be back in class with you all learning.
Yeah, dude, it's so great. Like you know, I know you're doing a lot of stuff in LA, and that's really awesome. And in your life, things are going really good, and so that's cool. And like I just think back to the time that we talked last, which was here at the studio, and you were doing your premiere, and stuff was really awesome, and like everything looked like it's uncomfortable. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't, like, if you and I are in conversation, I wouldn't just stare at you. Now, sometimes there's points where you and I are standing next to each other, and I'll do that, and I'll look away when it's appropriate. But especially in separate locations and different things, think about a great play. So much of great writing is all about the writer setting up all the scenes, putting out exactly what happens. Like, if you read the great plays, the descriptions are very, very specific. it talks about exactly where the location is and what it looks like. And you'll get this as a writer, Bradley. Like, it's so important for the vision of the piece and for the actor to understand that. Well, improv's no different, right? So you can start to set us up in certain ways that help us understand where you are and what's going on with you. Like, if I'm in the middle of a fight with somebody right now, let's see, I'll just pick somebody. I'm in the middle of a fight with Hannah, okay? So Hannah and I are in like a blowout fight. We're just going to go off and we're going to go right now, okay?
Okay.
Dude, like, you're being ridiculous. This isn't even fair. Like, the way you're acting is not fair.
What do you mean? You drove my car into a wall.
It wasn't my fault. This is ridiculous. Like, how often are we going to have this conversation, okay? I said sorry. I said freaking sorry, okay?
My car is totaled and you didn't even give me a check.
So, like, I left the frame because I was upset and I talked from over there.
The picture's up.
Yeah.
My what? What?
Lost the picture.
Ah. I didn't do that time. All right. Yeah. Darn it. Okay. So we go back and I'm in the middle of the fight and I'm like, I leave and the headphones make it a little weird, but right. I leave and it's like, well, what? And why? You know? And I'm over here and it's like, I've said sorry to you so many times. And she responds.
Oh, you want me to respond right now?
I've said sorry so many times.
Are you kidding? You totaled my car.
A month ago!
You didn't even pay me back.
I don't have... Look, when I have the money, I'll pay you back, okay? Like, that just sets it up so much better. Like, there's this idea, I leave, I move, like, things are happening. And in life, that's the case. You write down scenes and they're doing laundry while the scene's happening. Well, because the person starts talking doesn't mean you just stop doing the laundry. Like, you want to feel, explore, move. So there were a lot of scenes where there was some fierceness in some of these. There were some little mini fights and then there was a lot of joy moments. Use your phone and explore. Like, this is a new genre. We've been talking about this a lot at the studio. It's the new Office. Right? The Office came in and said, hey, we're changing the game. We're changing the way that things are filmed. We're changing the way that things are done. And now so many shows have followed suit. Then Parks and Rec come out and goes, oh, yeah, we're going to do that too. That's cool. And so many other shows followed suit. Well, this is a format that will happen. So you want to use those angles and use those things and get up and do things like that because it tells a story. It makes it more interesting and it's more believable. Because if I'm in the middle of a fight with Hannah, I'm not just going to stand there and stare at her the whole time. I'm not. If I'm lying to Nick and I'm lying straight to his face and I don't want him to know it, I'm not going to look him directly in the eyes and stare him down when I'm answering the question he asked me because I know I'm lying and I don't want him to know that I know I'm lying. Right? It's all about those little teeny things. Does anybody have a question on that? Okay, what else? What else?
Being comfortable with using silence.
What's that, Nick? What's that, Ian?
Being comfortable with using silence as a way to communicate.
Totally. Silence is key. So here's an exercise for everybody. Be silent. Find times in your day to literally just sit in silence. It will create that muscle where it will become less uncomfortable for you. And it's crazy. 5 minutes of silence, like literally phone out of the room, nothing going on, no taking a nap, like just sit in silence. Try and calm your thoughts, relax your thoughts, and see, 5 minutes will at the beginning sometimes feel like an hour. And what you're doing is you're building a brand new muscle to be able to make that not comfortable for you. Where like right now it's uncomfortable, you'll make it comfortable. Silence won't be a big deal. And then your speech will become better, your scenes will become better. That's great. Okay, Paul, I saw your hand up. What do you got, my man?
I was gonna say most of us, especially myself, because while the YouTube was going on, I went back and I went through my part. Like, you know, you said going through what you said also helps. Like, you make a better judgment and see what people see about you. So I saw that and I looked at it and I said, okay, facial expressions do matter. And most of us didn't take that into consideration because, like, my part, I wasn't supposed to be smiling or having loose facial muscle. We were planning a robbery. So I was supposed to be fierce and show that, you know, yeah, we're going to do this instead of. So I also feel like everyone should also take that into consideration.
Totally. Absolutely. Facial expressions, physicality are a huge part of character. Like right now, if we look at Truman's screen, he's got an energy right now. What is it?
It's sleepy.
It's sleepy, it's chill, it's relaxed. Like it's different than like if I'm sitting like this and looking around like that definitely tells a story, and that's a great point, Paul. Love it. Good. What else? Anybody else?
I'll go. If you give your partner a piece of information, let them respond to that before adding on.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Good, Bradley. Good.
Hannah's got a question.
Who? There's a bunch of them out there. Hannah, yeah, go ahead.
Hannah, if you have a question, I'm seriously gonna yell at you.
Hands started going up. That's what, you know what? I was going freeform tonight, and then people started raising their hands so politely, and I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
No, let's just, let me just be Hannah for a second, okay?
Solid.
I can't see anything.
Solid. That's your life lesson tonight.
Like, dude, I want you to use your
Hold on.
voice. You have such a great voice.
So,
Speak it, Shay.
You got it.
Shay's there. Shay Mama there.
Then there's me. See, I'm just over here. You guys don't know, but I'm just over here like.
and you'll see Shay's on the oh yeah, she is. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Let's.
Hannah, your question.
Yeah.
It's okay to like interrupt people like during a scene, but like, you know.
Definitely, 100%. And you found out the way to do it in this format.
Okay, because in the beginning I was like interrupting, and then I kind of felt bad, and so then I stopped, and then I didn't know if we were allowed to like do that, and then you explained.
So trust your gut always. Go with what feels right, and if it's wrong, trust me.
Okay.
Trust that if it's wrong, I'm gonna stop you, and or if we're just doing a full-on go take, I'm gonna tell you later. But the best thing an actor can do in a class, an improviser can do in a class, is release that, should I do this, should I not do this, and just do. Just go. And trust that your teacher is going to work through these moments for you. Because here's the truth, guys. In a lot of scenes, I notice like 8 different things that could be fixed. Like, I'll be like, that could be fixed, that could be fixed, that could be fixed, that could be fixed. And our job is to go, what's the most important thing right now? Because I could go, all right, well, you work on your space here and work on this angle here and make sure you're listening here and we're talking too much there. And, like, that wouldn't help you because you got, like, 8 different things coming your way. We go, what's the most important thing? So, Hannah, if you just trust your gut, if something's off, I'm going to fix it for you. Whoever's teaching you is going to fix it for you. And then when you come back later, the next time you do it, you know that, so you're better at not doing that thing.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
Cool. Vicky Sweeney, I saw your hand up. Oh, let me unmute you here. You are.
I was gonna say the same thing, Brian, that Hannah said about it's always been like, don't talk when somebody else talks. Listen, and then tonight we saw that it was okay in that scene. That depends on the scene.
Absolutely. Good. Any others? We can throw hands up. Nick, there it is. Nick's like waving at this point. He's like, I've been over here.
So a big one for me tonight was to stick to the idea or the story that the audience is interested in, and not try to change it around if you can't think of anything.
Absolutely. And you know what will help with that too is that silence exercise. Like just sitting in it, you know. And Matt worked that with you when you guys did the yes because, and you took it different directions, and you couldn't give your first answer. Remember? That's that idea. Like sometimes, and we'll get faster too, but we don't want to just necessarily go with that first thing right away. We want to train our brain to go away from it a little bit. And then the more you do that, the more the creative brain comes faster and you're able to throw out those ideas quicker. Awesome. Anything else? Okay, cool. So here's the homework I want to build on and go into scenes with for next week. What I'd like to do is I want to work initiations. I want us to really think about that start to a scene, because we set ourselves up here and we set ourselves up in our showcase this last month with the who, what, where. So it's like, okay, here's your who, here's your what, here's your where. It's sort of like a little bit of training wheels for the scene. And the reason you do that exercise is so that you can keep getting better at just practicing that and realizing how important it is. Every scene that ever mattered, that went really well, had a strong relationship behind it. It had a strong who, it had a strong what or purpose, and the where affected those things because it allowed them to move around and do certain things blocking wise, just like a play. And I always reference plays. We reference plays because they're amazing. I mean, Pulitzer Prize winning plays are a great way to learn as an improviser, to just go in and look at all of the descriptions and the way that scenes happen, because acting is acting. Great acting is great acting. If improv should look, sound, and feel, scripted. Scripted work should look, sound, and feel like improv. That's our job. We make it so real that they can't tell the difference. So exercise-wise, I want you guys to think through this week and write out a bunch of them. You could write out some who, what, wheres, but I want you to write out initiation statements, ones that we would be psyched about doing. So, for example, I might look at somebody over here. Let me find someone I haven't called on yet. Connor. And I'm just like, this just isn't working out for me. Boom. Who wants to see that scene? Raise your hand.
Thank you.
Right, like I just dropped something and now she knows who she is. I know who I am. We know what's happening, and now we're dying to see the outcome. So we get to explore together and figure out what that is, but I've now initiated with something very strong. I wasn't like, hello, girlfriend, how are you? We shall have a talk about like what, like I didn't awkwardly describe our who, what, where. I found a way to subtextually, underneath the words, send her an energy and make a very bold statement that let her know what was going on. Okay? So we can each work on those and think, if I was on the other side of that, would I want to be in that scene? Would I want to be in the scene that's happening right now? So we're going to actually really quickly, I'll have a couple people throw some out, okay? So Elizabeth, throw me out a initiation that you would be psyched to be on the other side of.
But how are we going to afford that?
Okay, awesome. Yes, great. Okay, Alicia.
You never showed up.
Boom, love it. Dakota.
Well, looking at your X-rays, you're probably going to need surgery.
Oh man, yeah, great. Bradley.
And whose fault was that?
Cool. Truman.
I love you.
Awesome.
What was that?
Love it.
Buddy.
Brianna.
You set the pan on fire again.
Love it. Paul.
Oh, we're hitting the gym this morning again.
Yes.
Yes.
Vicky Sweeney, aka Brian Joey's mom.
Are you really gonna wear that?
Okay, good. Nick.
You kiss your dog on the lips.
Oh my god.
Ian.
I don't know how we're gonna survive here.
Say that a little louder. The end part. I missed the end.
I said I don't know how we're gonna survive here.
Survive here. Okay, good. Love it. Good. Hannah.
My mom?
Truman.
What, she said my mom died?
She said my mom?
Just my mom.
But the way, so that's the idea. Because here's the thing: you can get a little specific. We can work into specifics. But if you're really using emotion and really connecting, we get a pretty good idea of who we are and what's going on and the emotion of the other person, and then the creativity of the other actor come in. So most likely they're going to be probably X character in their life, but there's a bunch of characters they won't be, and there's some that they might be, and then we explore together. Okay, Truman, hit me up.
Why'd you leave me?
Boom, man, you guys got some drama here, right?
Yes.
And I'll just throw this because there were a bunch of drama ones. Know that they don't have to be dramas either. So my example happened to be that, and so we all most of us went into some form of dramatic situation. That's great. They totally can be. They don't have to be. So for example, I could be like, dude, I cannot believe you got in. Like then we get on the same excited page, same idea. So there's ones that are dramatic, there's ones that are serious, there's ones that are like super funny, there's ones that are excited. Like we can play with all kinds of emotions, but all of us are laughing because we want to be on the other side of that. It's entertaining. But in most scenes, we'll start off and we'll just kind of stare at each other and we'll both be like, well, are you going to go or am I going to go? It's like an awkward first date. It's like, who's going to talk first? Like, instead, somebody just come in strong and the other person say yes to that idea. Say yes, and let's figure out how we're going to roll with that and where we're going to take the scene. So that's our homework. Write out at least 10 initiations that you would be psyched to be on the other side of. And here's the deal. Next week, you're not going to probably just come in and just use one. We're not doing this to pre-plan, but it's to get you in the headspace of understanding the importance of it and understanding, like, the better you get at doing that, the more you'll be able to do it on the spot. It's like anything. If somebody works stand-up or something, the more you practice it, the more comfortable you become. You think about your first class here that you were ever here, you walked in the door, you were nervous. And then you start becoming less nervous, and then you move to LA and become a boss and make sketches and videos. Like, that's what happens. Right, Bradley?
God, why do you do this?
It's fun. It's good times. Okay, good. Any questions?
Would the initiation, like, could one-word initiations work?
Give me an example.
Would it depend on, like, how you...
It could depend on how you're doing it. The goal, we didn't have time to dive into it, right, is you want to try and get as much of the who, what, where out as possible. So I know this is silly, but just add a name in there.
Okay.
Do that same thing and add a name. Imagine someone in your mind.
Bless you.
Wow.
Sanitize.
Sorry, man. I just, dang it, that was funny. So, like, even adding Cameron, it does something. It does something to the scene. It tells me kind of who I am, and then I can absorb the word Cameron and go, what does a Cameron look like, sound like, act like, and now I'm Cameron. Whereas when you just say, wow, then I go like, oh, okay, cool. I know I've done something, but I don't really know where it's heading or where I'm going to take it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Yeah, Elizabeth.
So I know we were talking about silence and then interrupting, and I know the last live that we did, we also talked about finding patterns in the games in improv.
Mm-hmm.
At what point is there a line that we cross with making the silence a game and the cutting off a game? Does it become too much in a scene? Is there a fine line between, you shouldn't be cutting each other off this much? Should it be natural? Or is there, I guess I'm just asking, there's levels to each one and what the level should be.
Totally. So my answer on this is going to go into depending on the scene. So you think about the reason we teach the way we teach, by the way, is because we don't believe in levels.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about this, because we teach at the person, right? So in every scene, you're going to sort of feel that out. Most of the time, you're not going to want to cut each other off too much, because there is that challenge of, like, having to deal with that and go back and forth. But going back to plays, if you will go back and watch the masterclass videos from this last time and you watch Joey's scene with Ariella, they're in a huge blowout fight where they're cutting each other off. They had to strategize how they were going to jump on each other's lines. But most of the time, it's back, forth, because it's heated. So if we're in the middle of a heated discussion, we need to balance being improvisers and the character. As a character, I might want to just keep yelling and yelling and yelling. I know I need to play tennis like we learned tonight, throw something at you, maybe continue to talk a little, but fully expect you to cut me off. And the second you do, let you. Stay upset, stay in character, but as an actor, let you come in with what you have. And so it's based on situation, and then from there, it's about the balance of trusting your partner.
Okay.
Yeah, great question.
Thank you.
Anything else? Nick, yeah.
Real quick, when is it okay, or when is it time to change the main theme or the main idea?
The main what? It cut out there.
The main theme of a scene or the main idea of a scene. When is it okay to change that? Like, you know, when is it time to change that?
Would you give me an example? Like just a little.
FBI agents were going after the serial killer, but we want to segue into, well, he only ever wanted to be an accountant. So we're off the serial killer thing, kind of like what happened before. So is that ever okay to switch into something else like that?
It is. Typically, it will happen naturally at some point. So you guys talked about the killer. There was a shift. So here's where the shift happened. If we talked about character point of view, right? If your character was super serious about the FBI and his character was less serious and more serious about like wanting to just be famous, the moment that happened, the excitement, the energy you guys had with each other is going to shift. It's like, think about it this way. You're getting to know someone, right? And you guys are clicking. This is in Jada and Joey's scene in Masterclass. You're going back and forth. They use a bell to indicate what's going on, but you're trying to get to know somebody, right? You're trying to get a vibe for them. And you're like, yeah, cool. Oh man, yeah, I like that too. And then they're like, yeah, but I hate dogs. And you're like, oh, cool. That's not gonna work. Like sometimes someone's like, yeah, I'm all about cats. And I'm like, well, cats are great, but we're not gonna date. So like there's just this moment where that shifts the energy of a scene. So that would be an example of that happening within it. But ideally, if we're hyper listening, it will only happen in moments where our character's point of view is opposite of somebody else's, or we hit the peak of a scene and somebody else swipes or cuts the scene.
Okay.
And in this set, you guys might have hit that really awesome point. And honestly, within this format, and there's a lot of ways to cut a scene in Zoom. Matt put a video up about this on our YouTube when he was talking with Phoebe. But there's like so many different ways that would happen. And our goal, by the way, is to put up plays. That hasn't changed. So even in virtual format, that kind of thing would be something that would happen. So it could be as easy as like somebody, we talked about this being an idea, like that somebody could use. Like you and I are done with a scene, and everybody has a clipboard or has a piece of paper, and that's basically, we're right in the middle, boom, that scene's over, and then the next moment, I go, Nick, so what do you think of the new guy?
He's all right.
So now we've cut to something else because your scene hit a peak, and we need to go somewhere else away from there. Cool.
Got it. Thank you.
We're right over here at time and eat. One more last question, anybody? Okay. Awesome. Guys, great class. We're going to build on this. Do that exercise with all of the initiations. I'm going to close out our live video by throwing up here the video we just posted today. It was super dope. If you haven't seen it or checked your email, make sure to watch it. Joey and Matt worked really hard on it, and the video is awesome. It's like so cool.
Oh, good.
And we would, if you've seen it, thank you for watching, and please comment, share. Like we send it to you as well, a link so that you can post on yours. That would be super awesome and helpful for us to just keep building up this community and building up what we're doing. Nick, yeah.
Did you, when you said, what do I think of the new guy? Did you mean like in a scene, or were you asking me?
Oh, I was referring to Bradley because I know you guys are both new. Oh. I get what you're doing.
No, you're awesome, dude. I was confused. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's.
Oh, God, I'm so embarrassed.
It's not me. Bradley, I don't believe you get embarrassed. I just don't believe it.
I get embarrassed super easily, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I
It's out of character, I know, but
I don't know. Okay, hold on. I thought I had the video right here.
Nope.
Make sure I have it. You guys can say hi to each other real quick while okay, got it.
Shout out to Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
Paul.
Waking up early.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna throw this video up here. Maybe. So this will be on your lives here right at the end of class. That will just go ahead and play. And so right now that'll kind of play for you guys. So before we do that, let's all say goodbye to each other real quick and jump over to the live to watch that final video. Make sure to share it out. And we love you guys. Great job. Do that homework and can't wait to progress these scenes next week.
Bye, guys. Love you all.
Bye.
Great job tonight. Bye. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Some big news today, boys. Big news!
You're not gonna believe it.
Will you be joining me outside in a few minutes or?
So there are things that are definitely working.
You got a jar or something?
4 different guys. Gordon Zaharias? Who the hell is Gordon Zaharias?
And you will not like it. That's what I'll do.
You're playing with fire. And I
We're going to be opening in person June 1st, Deering Acting Studio, opening the doors, mic drop.
You don't know how you are living.
It's the #1 format.
It's a very good format. It's the #1 format of all the acting schools. It really is, Joey. I got to tell you.
Also, while we're in this voice, I may as well tell you this voice was featured on our most recent podcast, so go ahead and tune into that.
Would you say it was the #1 acting podcast?
I would say it was the #1 acting podcast.